welcome to the 21st episode in our AI and You podcast series. Today is Friday, December 4th, 2020, and I'm your host, Vikar Saidi. I'm a computer scientist and engineer, a lecturer and a consultant. I'm also the author of several books. My most recent book is about artificial intelligence and is titled The Genome Affair. The Genome Affair is a work of speculative fiction. It examines what the world might be like if some of the more extraordinary capabilities forecast to be realized in AI over the next 20 to 30 years were actually realized today. Given the growing list of frightening existential threats humankind now faces, the book pays particular attention to the impact AI is expected to have on world affairs. The book is available in ebook format for those who prefer to read on a digital device, but it's also available in a high-quality paperback edition. The Genome Affair is available on Amazon, so I hope you'll take the time to read it and to leave a review. Book reviews are very helpful for writers. I'm also available to give talks on artificial intelligence and its related technologies, and on the impact AI is expected to have, or is already having, on our world. If you'd like to get in touch with me to arrange a web-based event or consulting meeting with your company or organization, you can find my contact info in the podcast notes below. And now, on to today's podcast. In our last podcast, episode 20, I spoke about the implications for the development of artificial intelligence in an increasingly hostile political climate between China and the West. China and America are the two world leaders in the development of AI, with China close behind the US in second place. In today's podcast, episode 21, I'll be talking about how artificial intelligence is playing a remarkable role in improving outcomes for couples submitting to in-vitro fertilization. Let's get started. On July 25, 1978, Louise Joy Brown was born in London in the United Kingdom. Louise was the first birth resulting from a pioneering procedure known as in-vitro fertilization, or IVF. By 2020, 8 million babies around the world were born following conception using the IVF procedure. Infertility is a trying and deeply emotional problem that affects the lives of nearly 1 in 7 couples, as their longing for a child often remains unfulfilled. Over the past 40 years, in vitro fertilization has helped millions of these couples achieve their dream of starting a family. But despite the emotional strain, life upheaval, and painfully high cost of IVF procedures, there is no guarantee of success. In fact, in 2018, the average birth rate for an IVF embryo in the United Kingdom was just 23%, while in the US, it was about 27%. As a result of the low IVF success rate, many couples will submit to these fertility treatments multiple times, with each failed episode compounding their emotional pain and financial burden. Even when successful, IVF procedures are both emotionally and physically exhausting. Following weeks of hormone injections, a woman's eggs are extracted and then combined with sperm in a culture dish. During the next 5-day period, the eggs will develop into embryos, and one of these embryos will be implanted into the woman's uterus via the cervix. A major element of success in IVF procedures is for the embryologist to select the embryo or blastocyst that is most likely to lead to a healthy pregnancy. Fertility specialists must perform this task manually, by peering into a microscope and making an educated guess based upon past experience and feel. But today, artificial intelligence is pointing to a better path forward, a path with a higher rate of success. The company Life Whisperer has developed an artificial intelligence agent that has been trained on tens of thousands of microscopy images from previous IVF cycles, and can access these microscopic images and quantitatively rate the selection of embryos for the embryologist. Fertility specialists now have a much better sense of which amongst the available embryos is most likely to lead to a pregnancy. This AI agent can assess an embryo's viability using its morphological features, an ability that a human eye gazing into a microscope is simply incapable of differentiating. In a study that examines over 1,600 embryos, Life Whisperer's AI agent was found to be 25% better than an embryologist acting alone. Today, artificial intelligence agents are increasingly being used to help select embryos for implantation during IVF in clinics around the developed world. They are being trained to more precisely detect the highest quality in vitro fertilization embryos and are increasingly outperforming trained embryologists. Researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital and at Massachusetts General Hospital are developing another artificial intelligence agent that can improve IVF success by helping embryologists in their selection of embryos that are most likely to result in a healthy birth. The deep learning neural network in this AI agent is trained on thousands of images of embryos, and it's now able to differentiate and identify embryos with the highest potential for success, significantly better than 15 experienced embryologists from 5 different fertility centers across the United States. Scientists believe that this AI agent and similar agents under development will benefit both clinical embryologists and patients. A major challenge embryologists currently face is deciding which embryos need to be transferred during the IVF procedure. The tools currently available to embryologists and IVF teams are limited and expensive, leaving most embryologists to rely on past experience and feel. For patients, there is a great deal at stake each time they submit to an IVF procedure, since embryologists must make critical decisions that are likely to impact the success of the IVF procedure. But now, with the support of these AI agents, embryologists will be best positioned to select an embryo that can result in a successful pregnancy much better than in the past. The Brigham and Women's AI agent was trained using images of embryos captured at 113 hours following insemination. Among 742 such embryos, the AI agent was 90% accurate in choosing the highest quality embryos. The investigators further assessed the AI agent's ability to distinguish among high-quality embryos with the normal number of human chromosomes and compared the agent's performance to that of trained embryologists. The system performed with an accuracy of approximately 75%, while the embryologists performed with an average accuracy of 67%. In Israel, researchers are now training AI agents on tens of thousands of images to optimize their skill in egg selection. These emerging AI prediction models can help patients determine their statistical probabilities of pregnancy and even of subsequent pregnancies. A technique known as geometric deep learning can process many different types of information formats to train the AI agent to the point where it is 20% better than human experts at selecting a viable embryo, and 30% better than human experts at detecting embryos that are likely to result in a failed pregnancy. An AI agent underlying a fertility app is being developed as well. This AI agent offers 24/7 support for couples who have been trying to conceive a child by using 500,000 data points that can help prospective patients screen themselves online anonymously using their age, weight, lifestyle considerations, and other relevant factors. Couples can manipulate these factors to see how their probability of conception changes as they dispose of bad habits or reduce weight, and it can reduce hospital visits for prospective IVF patients to just 2. Thank you for spending some time with me. I'm trying to follow the TED Talk format, and so I'm keeping these podcasts under 20 minutes. Let me know what you think. I hope you'll find these insights into artificial intelligence helpful, and I hope you'll read my new book, The Genome Affair. It's on Amazon. Until next time, then, this has been the AI and You podcast with author Vicar Saidi.